So excuse my sweatiness, I have just been for a run and the sweat is dripping into my eyes. But I just wanted to record a little video because I ran into a friend of mine the other day and he has lost his job. He's going through a bit of a hard time at the moment. And I said, you know, what have you been doing? He said, I've been going to the sort of careers advisory service, we call it the job centre here. And the job centre is where they kind of advertise jobs. Sorry, I'm really sweaty, I just finished this run. Ugh. And he said that they said to him, what are you doing to improve your situation? And his response to that is like, well, you're the job centre. What are you going to do for me? You know, when are you going to find me a job? And I think this is kind of illustrative of something that many of us fall prey to, and that sometimes we don't have any agency over our own life. Because I think part of the reason for that is it's because it's very hard to take ownership of all the bad decisions we make. Because when we do that, there's a fear that we may judge ourselves to be inadequate. So, you know, we kind of look back at that bad career choice, or, you know, we quit that job and ended up making a bad decision, or, you know, we did these bad things, and there's always a reason why things have not worked out for us. Well, you know, it would have been all right had, you know, had not rained that day, or it would have been all right had I been more confident, or it would have been all right had I not been blued by my boss. And the thing is, we can't handle the shame of those bad decisions, the shame of our inadequacy as human beings. And you know what? We are human beings. We're not robots. We're human beings. But we're also very judgmental. And there, I think, lies a bit of the problem. Because when we judge ourselves for our bad decisions, rather than just taking ownership of them and saying, okay, they happened, I was human, I made a mistake, and it was a bad mistake, and it was stupid. When we are able to look at those bad decisions and own them as our own, we can also start to take ownership of the good decisions. And so we start to own our power. So whenever we're, you know, looking for excuses, or, you know, it was a bad day because I got struck by lightning. Well, actually, that is a pretty bad day. But, you know, it's a bad day because I was late for work because my train was delayed, all this kind of stuff. You know, when we could have actually got up earlier and got an earlier train, or whatever it is, or phoned ahead to say, really sorry, something's happened here. We're giving away our power. We're saying it's not our fault. You know, our life is not our responsibility. But when we kind of say, okay, sure, I was bullied by my boss, but I'd allowed myself to get into such a state in my life that I had no confidence and no ability to push back. And, you know, there's no shame in that. And that actually, you know, if I'd been stronger, I would have probably stood up to my boss. You know, and that certainly happened to me. I was bullied by my boss, and my confidence was so shattered, I wasn't able to stand up to her. But had I, you know, just said to myself, okay, I let myself over years and years of kind of, you know, being undermined and allowing myself to be undermined one way or another, you know, and just to take ownership of that, and also to take ownership of the bad career choices, bad decisions, bad things we do. We can also say, well, where I am now is actually the kind of result of all the things that I've done. So what can I do now to make things better? Rather than saying, you know, everything's out of my power. All these things that have gone wrong, they're outside of my power. So therefore I have no power. And really I'm reliant on the world just dealing me a good hand, you know? It's like, own it. Own your mistakes. Own your situation. Do what you need. Seek the help you need to get, but own it. Own it. Be the master. You know, as Jerry Seinfeld said, the master of your domain. Own that crap. All right, this is a thought today from a very sweaty post-run car. Cheers.